Hello, how are you? We're gonna break into prison today. Oh shit, no, not like this. Definitely not like this. More like this. By the way, I already played a part of this chapter because yeah, I recorded wrong, so I have to redo it now. And so I know how to do this now. It was kind of, I got a bit lost the first time I played this part, the prison part. Oh shit. Nice. Oh shit. Go, 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 go.
It was obvious the security lights would set off an alarm.
Sneaky part. Sneaky, sneaky. Behind the boxes. Good thing he doesn't clean the boxes up, because he loves that. Oh, I think I'm supposed to go to the left first, actually. Yes. When you set off the alarm, there's a bunch of police. They come shooting at you. Even when you die, the alarm doesn't end. You gotta like turn the alarm off or wait for them to stop seeing you, like in a stealth game usually is, you know. Oops. Oops. No. Don't see me. Okay, don't see me, don't see me, don't see me. Easy, you see? You can hide in a locker as well. Ba-boom! Where am I? Oh no. Now in this part the lights here don't see me if I'm in a hall or whatever. They don't see me at all usually. So I'm just like running around. Oh, but not here. Here I have to go here. Oh, and here. And this. What does this do?
Mr. Sultan, this was the switch that would open the laser door to Mr. Logan's cell
yeah, and
block.
now I can go back there. And this I couldn't figure out the first time, but I'm gonna show you. Here. You can hide in the bush. I was like, there's no boxes. How am I supposed to do this, right? The bush. And here's another part. Right. I think I'm supposed to go here first. Oh fuck, he sees me.
Somewhere to hide, or the guards would kill me.
Hide. You see? They saw me. Don't see me, don't see me. I have to hide behind the washing machine. Like this. Like this. Great, awesome. No.
Mr. Sultan seemed to think this would open the cell block door. Luckily,
I agree.
He was right.
Awesome. Huh, my internet disconnected, that's fine. Where do I go? Oh.
Unsurprisingly, Mr. Logan's cell was locked, but thanks to my speedy brain, I was able to hack it in seconds. Mr. Logan was not
that's a
pleased
cool guy.
to see me. No one ever was, but I couldn't work out why. However, when I mentioned Mr. Sultan, he soon cheered up. We quickly made our way outside. Although I wasn't sure about Mr. Logan's stealth techniques, they were quite different from mine.
Oh shit.
You must have noticed Mr. Logan was missing, as, with a bright flash, we were soon attacked.
He got shot in the
This
same
still
place.
wasn't the plan, said Mr. Sultan as he insisted he was okay, and that, no, I didn't need to clean up the trail.
Oh,
of blood.
don't clean up anything,
He did,
please.
however, urge me to take care of the huge tank bearing down on us.
Oh shit. Yeah, that's the boss fight. It's not that bad. Shit. as I die right away. How did I do this? Oh, like that. Okay. So basically, it's not as difficult as that snake fight. The box snake, you know? But you gotta jump on the... like this. Hopefully I'm gonna do it pretty quick though. Okay, like that. Nice, nice. Fuck you. almost over. Almost over. Almost over.
We all piled into the
Oh,
van.
nice.
Mr. Logan and Mr. Preston took out large guns as Mr. Silton gave me some driving software. It basically explained that one foot pump made the van go, and the other one signaled Mr. Logan and Preston to fire their guns.
And now we have this kind of stain, which is nice. Come on. Oh, shit. Oh, fuck. Fuck. No, I'm not doing so well. Okay. I think I was doing better last time. Maybe I'm just saying that so that I feel better about myself. Who knows? Just 5 miles left. I think it's over with the fighting at this point. Maybe not? Huh? Something behind the corner? No. Nothing. It's over. Pew. Okay.
I hoped that all the bullets fired led to non-fatal wounds, but statistically that was incredibly unlikely.
Definitely.
Strangely, I felt too excited and relieved to care. Mr. Silton winced as he clutched his bleeding shoulder and explained how you can't make an omelette without breaking a few eggs. I think broken eggs meant dead people. Sometimes, he said, you have to do whatever it takes to survive, even if that means killing.
But not innocent people,
said Mr. Logan as he stared straight ahead. Eventually, I asked Mr. Logan what he had done to end up in prison, but he just continued staring out of the window. Mr. Preston smiled as he said, I suppose someone should explain. He told me when the war started, he and Mr. Silton had avoided conscription, but Mr. Logan was called up. His unit's first orders were to sweep through a huge urban area, killing anything that moved. The only trouble was, hundreds of refugees had recently taken shelter there. The generals knew that those people were there, said Mr. Preston, but they couldn't have cared less.
This isn't the time for another one of your conspiracy theories,
interrupted Mr. Silton. Although this obviously annoyed Mr. Preston, he continued explaining how Mr. Logan and another man deserted, and, after a poor attempt to hide in a wooden vaulting horse, the pair of them were caught at gunpoint on a train, whilst trying to speak rudimentary German.
What?
Mr. Logan guided us down a small side street as Mr. Preston complained that he needed the toilet. Mr.
This time he does need the
why we
toilet.
were taking the scenic route while he was trying not to bleed to death. But Mr. Logan gave Mr. Silton a quick glance. You're fine, he said with the faintest of smiles.
Okay.
Soon the night sky was full of twinkling stars, and I was able to impress everyone with my navigation skills. The software was state-of-the-art, but I remember Heather telling me how the ancients had used the stars in much the same way. It always made me smile, thinking about the names she gave the constellations.
No.
It was the middle of the night by the time we got back, but Mrs. Silton was still up waiting for us. Really, again, in the same place, was all she said as she shook her head and tended to Mr. Silton's second bullet wound.
Oh,
Mr.
Jesus.
Preston nearly knocked us over as he sprinted towards the bathroom. It appeared that his body had kept on making urine, even though it didn't have anywhere left to store it.
Oh, what a strange thing the body is. Oh, musical diversion at 7:20. Trust me, I'm a celebrity at 8.
I asked Mr. Silton about Heather and the old lady, but he said he was just about to wash his hair.
He's what?
When I asked him again later, he said the main thing was that we'd got Logan and the van back, and couldn't the rest wait until I had cleaned up the band room for him. I didn't know what to say. Everything we had done, everything I had helped him with, I thought it was all to get everyone back together. But now I didn't know what to think. Before I could say anything, Mrs. Silton explained that
Shit.
it was okay if I only travelled on trains and was alone. I must have looked worried as Mrs. Silton smiled and continued, if you really want these idiots to go with you, they can disguise themselves and catch the next train after you. Mr. Silton was dismissive, and said I'd get nowhere without proper ID. They'll be stopping robots for even the tiniest of things, he said. And a robot passport costs a fortune these days. Well, said Mrs. Silton, it's a good job I've got this. Mr. Silton
Robot
looked confused
passport.
and asked where Mrs. Silton got the money. Sometimes, said Mrs. Silton, when God slams a door in your face and shoots you twice in the shoulder, he opens a window. Mrs. Silton explained how Preston had given her the extra money. He said there was good money to be made selling pills and powder to people that distracted them from the world being an absolute mess.
Oh.
Bedtime,
Said Mr. Logan as he carried his guitar into his room. Everyone else left one by one, leaving me stroking the dog.
Okay. Ah, yes, and then another one of those dreams. Because apparently that's how he dreams. But is the old man gonna be here again? Who knows? Shit. I didn't get all the circles, so now I feel bad. Because I failed as a gamer. You know? Stars. Yay. Reach the stars. Yay.
I awoke to the sound of Mrs. Silton making herself some breakfast. It felt very early, but I suppose it was just that we had gotten so late. Mrs. Silton gulped down her coffee, and with a reassuring smile she said, "Let's do this."
Okay. I don't know if it's safe to take this potentially dangerous robot into the city.
The pedestrian tunnel was far longer than I expected, but it was nice. It gave me a chance to chat with Mrs. Silton.
Register all robots. Rogue robots, ghost lives. That's
She
true.
told me she was from an upper-class family,
Oh,
and that her
shit.
parents had nearly disowned her when she married Mr. Silton.
She must love him very much.
But she said she really was happy being with her husband.
Oh,
And after all, as she put it, he did provide for her in this messed up world.
that's good. That's
However,
good.
I couldn't help but laugh when she said how much she liked Mr. Silton's band. I steered the conversation onto the topic of the war. She explained she had been a nurse near some major combat, but she looked really sad, so I changed the subject. I asked her if the town was nice. Mrs. Silton smiled, and described it as a wretched hive of scum and villainy.
That's nice, kinda. Oh, here we go. And now we're gonna go find a job in the city. Yeah.
Train tickets cost 1,000, so Mrs. Silton said I should trade in some of the things I'd cleaned so I could afford to travel. However, when we tried the door, it was apparent that the junkyard owner wouldn't be back for a while. So Mrs. Silton suggested I try to earn some money by other means. She said there were plenty of jobs in the town that a robot could do.
And that's where I was surprised, because I thought the collecting trash was pointless. But it isn't
The
completely
largest of the
pointless.
old ladies explained the job to me. I would be drying plates. She explained that old people couldn't afford to retire anymore, so she and her friends had to take menial jobs. All of the old ladies would be throwing plates at me as quickly as they could. I just had to catch and dry them.
And so I have to do mini games now to get money. Which is fine, I guess, but kinda strange. Nice. Nice again. Fuck. That's enough. But there's other jobs that you can do. Okay, that's enough for sure. At least from here, because that's boring. And this is where you buy the tickets. So I'm gonna go ahead and buy one so that I don't forget. Yay. One is enough, you know. Shit. Yeah, I'm not doing this one anymore. I'm tired of minigames. Let's pick up the garbage. I wonder which chapter the garbage opens, the scrapyard, so that I can sell my shit, and how much will it be worth, really. But now let's go. In the train. This is the most messy train in the world. Yeah, okay. Sure. I'm gonna travel on the ceiling. Okay, maybe not. Because we can see the views better this way.
Mr. Deck's TV studio was deep inside the bombed-out buildings of Big City.
Big City, this is Big City.
Okay, sure. Probably gotta get another ticket for later, right?
Once I'd made my way out of the station, Mr. Silton and the others jogged up alongside me. As soon as they got the chance, they ducked into an alleyway to change their clothes. Mr. Silton was the first to change. Deck's studio's down that way, he said, in that huge posh building, the British Corporation of Truth. The Corporation of Lies and Propaganda, a wretched hive of scum and villainy, said Mr. Preston. And dancing competitions, said Mr. Silton. There are some benches at the other end of the road. We'll wait there till the crew leave, then sneak in through one of the loading bays.
Alright. Let's go.
While we walked, I asked how Mr. Deck had ended up back on television. Celebrities weren't very keen on walking down the red carpet at awards ceremonies with bombs falling from the skies, explained Mr. Silton. But they still craved attention and validation, so the solution was to host one big award show in a giant underground bunker at Burlington.
Yes, of course.
You can't broadcast from deep underground, so they had to run cables to the transmitter through a vent on the surface. A bomb-sized vent, as it turned out. It took a great shot. 1 in a million. The lack of survivors meant Z-listers like Deck were now the A-list by default. Just then, Mr. Logan interrupted, saying it was time to move.
Wow. That's one way to get acknowledged, yeah? And we're doing platforming again. Oh, I lost my face already, and now it died. This way. Nope. Okay.
Robots are allowed pretty much anywhere in the building as long as they look the part, whispered Mr. Silton. You just need to be wearing
He's
no
tired.
clothes and have the blankest of faces. I didn't really like the sound of that, but I realized it was the only way I'd be able to get in. So I took off my suit and made my face blank. Blanker, said Mr. Silton.
What?
Blanker with an ER, said Mr. Silton again.
Hmm?
Well, I suppose that'll have to do. Deck's dressing room is in some lavish suite, said Mr. Silton as Mr. Preston and Mr. Logan lowered me into the empty corridor below. Have a look around, whispered Mr. Silton, and we'll catch up with you in a bit.
Okay, so now I'm naked. That's nice, I guess. Fuck. Oh. Okay.
As I approached the group of people, a man in a white lab coat was demonstrating what he called the future of robotics. He said that anyone interested would be able to see it in action on one of the sound stages later today. It's much better than these old models, he said as he stared at me. My new version does exactly what you tell it to.
I do what I'm told as well. I'm a good boy. What are you talking about? Yes. That's nice.
As soon as I entered Mr. Deck's dressing room, he shouted, "Get out!" I said I don't want to be disturbed. I was so shocked that I couldn't keep my blank face. Mr. Deck looked confused. "It's you, isn't it? Get away from me, you yellow bastard," he said as he reached for a huge red alarm button, but he was interrupted by Mr. Silton falling from a vent in the ceiling. "All right, Deck," smirked Mr. Silton. "Hello, Barry. And it's Mr. Deck if you don't mind," replied Mr. Deck as he hammered on the alarm button. "Quick," said Mr. Silton as he turned to me, "find a way to stop that alarm."
There were 4 alarms left to turn off.
What the fuck? Well, Mr. Dick is a dick as always. But that's not surprising. Can I not get dressed now?
There were 3 alarms left.
There was one alarm left. A serious-looking security guard walked into the garden set, so I quickly approached him. I wasn't sure what I was going to do, but I knew I had to keep him out of Mr. Deck's dressing room. I attempted to resume the blank face that Mr. Silton had shown me as I announced that Mr. Deck was not to be disturbed. For some reason I said it in an unusually high-pitched voice, which didn't seem helpful. The security guard's eyes narrowed. Now in a full panic, for some reason I decided this was a good moment to do the finger guns for the first time. The large man shoved me out of the way, but quick as a flash Mr. Logan had appeared and snapped his neck. "Sorry, had to be done," was all he said before running back toward Mr. Deck's room. "I didn't know you shredded the axe," said Mr. Logan as he placed an acoustic guitar into an ornate sarcophagus. "I don't," said Mr. Deck. "I got it for Elton John to sign." For once, everyone else looked as confused as I did. "We'll take this wine, and this portable TV," said Mr. Preston as he packed the coffin with as many expensive things he could find. "These bathrobes are pretty fancy as well." "Put those down," said Mr. Deck. "Elton John gave me those." "What's
What?
with you and Elton bloody John?" asked Mr. Silton, but Mr. Deck just looked angry. "Why are you doing this?" he said. "There's easier ways to get good wine and cheese. You can't just burst in here and take my stuff." A large smile crept across Mr. Silton's face as he said, "Oh, it's not just your stuff we're taking." "You try to take me anywhere," said Mr. Deck, "and I'll scream this place down. I know people in high places. I'll have you executed, and that little yellow bastard dismantled. My father is the head of the BCT." But Mr. Silton's smile widened as he pulled out a bag full of familiar-looking mushrooms. "Robot, take the sarcophagus this way back to the loading bay," said Mr. Silton. "We'll climb back through the vents and meet you there."
What the fuck? Why? Shit. That was gross.
Mr. Silton was worried that the studio set was quiet. In fact, he worried that it was, as he put it, too quiet.
Shit.
So, as per usual, it was me that went first.
Oh no. No. Hi, brother. Come on, be friends with me. Friends. Nice. Please die. No. Die. Nice. Brother. Hey! Oh my god, friends. Oh my god, yes. Oh, that's nice. What? Oh. No.
Once
Fuck.
away from the studio, we were able to duck down a few dark alleyways.
Sad.
I think we're safe, said Mr. Silton. You get dressed and head back to the train now. We'll wait here and travel back later with our cargo.
All the world's stage, and all the men and women merely players. All the world's a stage. Chapter 7, Delivering Deck.